Hello everyone, this is Azrigan from Azrigan Gaming, bringing you a tutorial video on why training is important. So just like everything in life, you don't get good at it unless you train at it. Battling with Pokemon, that's kind of the same thing. So up on the screen you'll see I have Pokemon Showdown loaded with one of my favorite pokes, Salamence. Broken, I know, but hey, I like him, he's a dragon. I got a soft spot for dragons. You can see the faint background behind this of the two Charizards battling. I don't know. I got a thing for dragons. Don't judge me. So in here you'll see a lot of numbers being thrown at you. I'm going to try and explain this as best as I can without going too far in detail on the IVs and EVs, only because each one is going to have their own video to help explain them even further. So bear with me. We're going to roll through this. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment down below. I try and read all of them. If I don't respond to them, Laura will respond to them. Someone will get back to you. But let's just jump right into this. So on the screen, you'll see we have HP, attack, defense, special attack, and speed. Now, over here you'll see IVs. I'm going to leave these blank for now. So over here you see IVs. IVs are your individual values. Again, we're going to go into more depth on what these do. But you'll see the number over here. That is the total for this stat. As I change this number up or down, you'll see that stat change. Now, why this is important is because if we go into a damage calculator, here I have two Charizards, Charizards. I have two Salamences, sorry. I have a blank Salamence here and a blank Salamence here, both level 100. They have the same nature, so hardy nature, which doesn't change any of their stats. Again, we'll go into this when I do the IV video. But you can see this one has all 31s, and this one has all 1s. So if I click on the Dragon Claw from this Salamence, the one with the 31s, it's a guaranteed one-hit KO. Every time, going to one-hit KO a Salamence from full health. If I click on this one, which has all of the 1 IVs, it's a guaranteed 2-hit KO. So you can see right there, both level 100, same exact poke, same exact move, but this one does significantly more damage than this one, only based on IVs. So similarly, if we come over here to attack, and we put in 252, which again, I'll explain why that number in another video, now we have a better chance of one-hit KOing, whereas before we didn't. And that's not even changing the IVs. That's just adding a little bit of EV investment into it, and we're increasing our chances of one-hit KOing the other guy. Or girl. But that's kind of why these are important. They go together very well to increase the likelihood of survival or beating another poke. So let's just say this one here, 31 and everything, guaranteed to one-hit KO me. If I come over to this guy and I up my defense to 31, and I'll explain why that number is important in another video, but if I up my defense to 31, you can see he's not a guaranteed anymore. It's only 31.3% chance to get one-hit KO'd. So increasing stats kind of helps level out the total stats of a Pokemon. Now there are other things that go into play with increasing these and decreasing these. For example, nature. You can have a nature that increases your special defense and decreases your stat. A nature that increases your speed and decreases your defense. All these kinds of things. One thing to understand with natures is there will always be an increase and a decrease or nothing at all. You cannot have an increase and an increase. You cannot have a decrease and a decrease. It's either nothing at all or one goes up, one goes down. There has to be a balance. Now we can go into a discussion on what natures go on what pokes and why you want to do that and all these other kinds of things, but that's a really in-depth guide on certain Pokemon, and everybody plays differently. You might want to play your Salamence more defensive, you might want to play more attack, might want them to be special attack, mixture, whatever. That's the good part about this game is there's so many different ways to do a single poke just based on these stats and just based on this and your movesets, and it's just it's vast. It's great. That's what I love about Pokemon and Pixelmon and all those kinds of things is you have the versatility to do what you want with whatever. Within reason, of course. You wouldn't throw, a little Pikachu up against a Mega Rayquaza. It just is not going to survive. I'm sorry, it's just not going to survive unless it has a Focus Sash. But that's kind of just another quick video to explain the importance of these stats and kind of a breakdown of why you want to take the time to go in and do this. The next two videos coming out are going to be for the IVs and for the EVs. We'll go a little bit further into depth as to why this 31 number is important and why this 252 number is important and kind of where they come from and some of the math behind that. I'm not going to bore you guys too much with math and just kind of how they affect the stats or whatever. If there's something I missed or something I went over too quickly, please let me know. But again, I'm going to be going a little bit further in depth with everything. I just kind of wanted to put this one out to show why the two together are important. Because they can't stand alone on their own. The way to increase EVs is through training. The way to increase IVs is through breeding, which is another reason why they're getting separate videos. Because that's going to be a whole nother thing to worry about. So this is just a real quick tip on IVs, EVs, why they're important, how they bend together, and, you know, the percentages on what happens if you don't actually do this. So I'm Azrican with Azrican Gaming. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time.